get those punts off against USC. Yeah. Receivers need to remember that their hands aren't just plugs. They do that.
No, they can't catch.
Yeah.
It's a mystery to me.
Balls aren't perfectly delivered.
Back from closed session, there's no reportable action.
Perfect, but you gotta catch the ones that are catchable.
Item number 2.
Item number 2 is the PEG interconnection between Comcast and AT&T.
Good morning. This is the PEG interconnect item, and it's my understanding that the parties would like to request a continuance because they've reached a conceptual settlement. So perhaps before, it's up to the commission. We can either do a staff report, or we can just, perhaps the chair might want to hear just briefly from AT&T and Comcast on the issue of continuance, in which case we would just continue the item, and those members who do have conflicts would not have to leave. So it would be my recommendation to just ask them to confirm that they have an agreement in concept and are requesting a continuance to your December meeting.
Okay. Representatives, come down, please.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Steve Holmes with Comcast.
Good morning, Lori Ortonstone representing AT&T.
And as Harriet represented, we have, we believe, reached agreement in principle on elements to ensure interconnection of the PEG channels to AT&T's network. That interconnection will occur pursuant to a contract between the two parties. We pretty much worked out all the details of that agreement. There's still some engineering and payment issues not to be resolved, but that will take some time to work out. So it is our request that you go ahead and continue the issue over until your December meeting. We believe that'll give us the next 60 days or so to work out those details, purchase the equipment that's necessary in order to complete the interconnection, and to basically make progress on that effort.
Okay, thank you for the update. Look forward to having that come back in December meeting and continue working together. And I think the commission's ready for that to happen, so thank you.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much.
Okay, so with that, I would recommend that that this hearing be continued to your December meeting, which is scheduled for December
The first Thursday.
6th, because this was a noticed public hearing, so we don't want to renotice it.
And motion to continue this item to December 6th, 2008.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed?
Did you say December 6th?
Yeah, I would note that,
Did I say that?
It's a Saturday.
Well, we're going to be here Saturday.
Apologize for that. That would be December then.
It would be the first Thursday in December, so that if the 6th is a
So you
Saturday,
make it the
it'd be
4th, right? Apologize for that.
That's what I meant to say.
okay, and could we note for our purposes that Commissioner Sheedy and Commissioner McCarthy have conflicts under 84308, and the reason that they have not left the room is because all we're doing is continuing the hearing.
Okay. So the motion now is the 4th, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay.
4th is correct, yeah.
And second still stands. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, great. Thank you. Item number 3.
Item number 3 is recognition of Diane Graber upon the occasion of her retirement. Unfortunately, I don't believe Diane was able to make it.
and that's fine. I'll take this on. Diane sends her wishes to your commission. She actually tried. I believe with the different agenda time and such, she had a conflict basically that she couldn't get out of, that she actually tried to get out of to come to the meeting today. Honestly, she's not a real fan of the public displays, and she appreciates everything that was said before, and she appreciates this resolution. I was talking to Chair Leary about whether we continue this until Diane can come back, and I think that's a possibility. I think Diane would probably prefer that your commission take action on the resolution, and through my correspondence, she certainly sends her wishes to your commission. But I do want to point out that for over 22 years, Diane was a great asset to the commission. The resolution, it's hard to take 22 years and basically, boil it down to resolution, so there's probably much, much more that anybody could have put into this resolution. But the resolution does note all that she's done to help customers in Sacramento, that she's worked with the franchises and the licensees and the grantees and has done remarkable service there. She has had a lot to do with Metro Cable, the latest being able to, the single force, I think, in delivering closed captioning. I think most of that success can be attributed to Diane. And of course, she has supported the commission and the board over the year. And with that, the resolution recommends that Diane will be missed, and the commission wishes her well in her retirement. And with that, I would recommend you adopt the resolution.
I'll move.
Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Obviously, the resolution's very numerous whereases. I think, Bob, you've probably covered the majority of them, but has done a fantastic job for all of us, and we do appreciate all that she's done for the Cable Commission, so thank you.
Okay. I'll make sure I send those wishes to her.
And I'll sign it before you give it to her.
What was that?
I'll sign it before you give it to her as
Okay.
well.
Thanks. She might appreciate it if you didn't. I don't know.
Okay, item number 4.
Item number 4 are state franchise applications for Comcast and Sure West.
Okay. Give me a second here. Okay, I'll try to make this brief. Certainly, there's a lot in the staff report, and I believe, as your commission is probably aware by now, as you know, certainly DIVCA allows the local franchisees and licensees to opt out of their local franchise if there's a state franchise provider. Since AT&T has provided notice and is actively providing service within the commission boundaries, then it's the local franchises and licensees are eligible for opting out. Well, we've received recent notice from Comcast. It's already been reported to you. In fact, they've already applied for and received their state franchise, and as of October 16th, Comcast has a state franchise. So they're no longer on the local franchises and licenses because they had multiple. Also, and this is coincidentally, but we've met with Sure West recently, and they've informed us that they intend to opt out of their local license, and they intend to do that and have it effective January 1st if their application gets processed in time for that, I believe. Both Comcast and Sure West are here, so they may want to make statements about this and certainly maybe answer some of your questions. I'm just going to reiterate a few of the quick things from the staff reports because, in my mind, this doesn't change things much. I think when DIVCA was approved a long time ago, a lot of people thought, well, the Cable Commission is going to go away because there's state franchises now. Some things do go away, and certainly your commission's ability to approve new franchises did go away, and now we still had local franchises, and now they've opted out. So basically, everybody's by January 1st will be on a state franchise. So other than the ability to basically approve local franchises, not too much is different. Customer service is a little different. Under the state and federal guidelines, there are customer service standards and certainly penalties and such that can be implemented. I believe they're less stringent than what could be done under the Cable Commission. Actually, but the bottom line is that even since I've been executive director, we haven't had a commission hearing on finding anybody because everybody's pretty much been complying. We have a good customer service process in place. We take complaints. We work it out. The single most important thing to good customer service and the good relationship with the commission is having the dedicated customer service staff within the different companies that are dedicated to us. We know them. We resolve issues that way. What we don't want is we don't want to call Comcast and get an 800 number and in a recording and have to wait through that. So in my mind, the commission still has customer service. It works pretty well. I would hope that the local companies would keep those representatives, whether they change the actual people, but they keep a dedicated person to SMCTC. That would certainly be the best thing. What else is different? PEG support. The PUC didn't want to take on PEG support and coordination at all. Certainly that's been a big item for your commission, and so PEG coordination and support will still come through the commission. The DIVCA does allow for implementation of a PEG channel facilities fee. Your commission has discussed this many times and actually adopted an ordinance that is still going to certain member agencies, but when all the member agencies adopt that ordinance, your commission would have the ability to implement a PEG fee. It could be 1%, it could be up to 3%. Approving a PEG fee is not before you today, but I do want to let you know that we plan to take that to your commission early next year. But so with that, DIVCA certainly does authorize that. Other things, the balanced build monitoring basically goes away. DIVCA does allow for the PUC to monitor the build. It's a different monitoring, and we've gone over it before with your commission, so I'm not going to really go into it, but they don't monitor balanced build on an ongoing basis, area by area, like the commission did. And certainly that's going away. It's probably of little impact because a lot the build for the local franchises. I mean, Sure West may have some more build in the future, but there is no current large building operations going on right now, with the exception of AT&T, which is under the state franchise rules anyway, and they were never under any of the local rules. With that, I recommend that you receive and file a staff report. Certainly, we could answer any questions that you may have on the opting out of Comcast and Sure West. And like I said, there's staff for both of them here today if they want to make any statements or if your commission has any questions for them. Oh, and one other thing, because especially with Comcast, it was the original franchise. There's a lot of complications with their franchise. There was a settlement agreement, lots of things. So Harriet Steiner has looked into that and has determined that there's no legal preclusion to Comcast opting out. That the issues regarding the past lawsuit settlement and their past franchise, there's no preclusion there.
That's correct.
And so with that, certainly we could entertain any of your questions you have on this item.
Okay, good. Any questions of the Bob?
Just so the commission no longer has the ability to actually make some decisions because they've all been given up to the PUC on the state franchise.
For awarding franchises, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
in fact,
well, I think some of the other things are going to be maybe settled with we get a report back from AT&T and Comcast. Because I see a connection between many things, so I think I'll have to wait on that to see how that other goes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Andy?
Yeah, just related to some of the discussion you have, Bob, in the staff report here, talking about, and this is a question you can certainly address, and I'm sure you will in more detail when we get to this PEG pass-through fee, but it says, it mentions revenues could fund PEG facilities but not services. What are the differences there? Give me some examples of.
Well, PEG services would be mainly the staff for the PEG operators, for example. PEG facilities would be, your commission has made allocations for trucks, for vans, certainly equipment to film and operate and transmit and broadcast the PEG channels. Any facilities, infrastructure related to that could be covered by that. Also, I'll ask Harriet for a clarification as far as your commission also from its franchise fees has a history of making allocations to the PEG providers. Is that Lena?
Right. So, yeah, the allocations that you make directly from your franchise fees are not so limited, I mean, as you know. But under federal law, a PEG pass-through, so to speak, an extra PEG charge above the 5% franchise fee can only be used for capital expenditures. And it's your same, so it's capital equipment, rent, those kinds of things, but not employee costs.
Okay. Thanks.
Questions? Got two speakers. First one will be Karen Monroe from Comcast.
Good morning, Commissioners. I actually would just comment on the state franchise that we have enjoyed over the years a very good relationship with the Commission. We expect that relationship is going to continue. And I brought with me today Marion Jackson, and I was hoping to introduce her to you because she will be your representative here in Sacramento that you'll be working with. This is Marion Jackson. She is the Director of Government Affairs for the entire Sacramento DMA.
Hi, nice to meet you all, and I look forward to talking to each one of you, and I'll give you my contact information so you know who to call.
Great, thank you.
And we're happy to answer any questions if you have any.
Good luck. Doesn't appear so, yeah. Thank
Thanks
you.
a lot.
And she's retiring after how many years? She's not going to say, but we're going to miss her terribly.
Congratulations. Thank you. Krista Bernasconi. Sure West.
Good morning, commissioners and staff. My name is Krista Bernasconi, and I'm here for Sure West. This woman said, we've also enjoyed a great working relationship with the commission over the last many years, so we know that will continue. Just a few things to reiterate what Bob had said. As we're in the process of now applying for our franchise and expect that to take place within the next few weeks. Not many procedural changes will take place. I will continue to be working closely with Karen with any complaints that come through. We generally have about 10 business days to get those resolved, and 9 times out of 10 they're resolved within a couple days. So we expect for that to continue the same. We will no longer be providing specific reports to the Cable Commission, as those will now be required to be addressed through the CPUC on broadband and low-income household information by census tract. We will continue to work on our BestNet agreement. That will not be affected at all. We'll continue to work with Liz closely on that and stand by our commitment with that. And I think that you'll continue to hear great things about Sure West as we continue to implement a $70 to $80 million build in the area. So continue to add on customers and expand our service area. And that is essentially, that's it. So if you have any specific questions, I'm also here with Greg Gierzak, our Director of External Relations. So if you have any questions after the meeting, you're always welcome to give me a call. Thank you.
Thank you. And that concludes that.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Bob and I realized that we left out 2 items that we had meant to mention to the commission. And now we have been reminded that there are actually 3. Because Comcast, as the incumbent cable provider, is only permitted to opt into the state franchise where AT&T or some other provider, it doesn't have to be AT&T, has already obtained a state franchise. And that is true for all the jurisdictions within Sacramento except for the city of Galt. So in Galt, Comcast will still be operating under our local franchise unless and until AT&T or another provider applies for a state franchise and under DIVCA and allows them to opt out for that area. So their current opt-out request does not include the city of Galt. So you're not totally out of the business of regulating your own franchise yet, which sort of brings up a money issue. As the commission may be aware, in Sacramento, there are it's sort of a bifurcated franchise fee, because under the settlements from many years ago, Comcast predecessor and now Comcast was paying a settlement fee in lieu of a franchise fee in the amount of 2.4%, I believe. And they still do that. And that settlement fee is not passed through to the subscribers. In the merger, in one of the transfers between AT&T and Comcast, AT&T agreed to pay the 2.6% as a franchise fee, which added up to a total of 5%. Right? The 2.6% is passed through to subscribers under the federal rules. So when Comcast opts out, they would then be paying a 5% franchise fee instead of the bifurcated fee, and they will then be able to pass through the entire amount to the subscribers as a line item. The effect of that is the potential, because this is up to Comcast, that rather than lowering their costs, what they charge subscribers, they will keep the charges exactly the same, but the pass-through will go up. And so the subscribers may see an increase in their total bill, which doesn't change any of the money that the commission receives. It does not change, the commission has not added any additional fees. But the end result of moving from our local franchise to a state franchise for Comcast only may be that the subscribers see a 2.4% increase approximately in their cable bill based on the way in which they structure the bills after the state franchise becomes effective. So I hope I haven't totally lost you. But we did want, because in case some of your constituents call and say, why did my bill go up? This line item that said franchise fees used to say X dollars and now it says Y dollars. We wanted to let you know that you have not increased your fees. It's the way Comcast is now permitted to do the accounting. And it's their choice to do it that way.
Question.
Sure.
So all we're saying then is that where is that money going, since it's not coming to the commission or to the cities or anything like that? Where is that extra money going?
We will still be getting the same amount of money. The additional money will be going to Comcast, or if they choose to do that.
It's just whether they recover that money from their customers or not. And right now they're recovering about half of the franchise fees that they pay from their customers. After the change, they are likely to recover the full franchise fee from their customers.
Okay.
Right. And then the last thing I wanted to say is just to reiterate something that Shore West brought up, which is that BestNet is a freestanding agreement and is not affected at all by the transfer from a local franchise to a state franchise.
In fact, DIVCA even has requirements that say internet provisions still, I think, are required to the term based on the term of the franchise. Isn't it not correct?
That is correct. And as you
INET provisions.
Right. And as you recall, Comcast franchise expires in 2023. So, but be that as it may, BestNet is a standalone agreement.
Okay, thank you. Any further questions? All right, moving on to item number 5.
Item number 5, adopt resolution approving an amendment to the agreement with Caption Colorado for closed captioning services.
Okay, good morning again. This should be a quick item, but as your commission is aware, in December of 2006, you approved an agreement for closed captioning services with Caption Colorado. They've been doing a great job providing captioning service. It's pretty seamless. We don't get many complaints, if any complaints, that we've had. We've had a few issues that have come up, but they've always resolved them quite quickly, and so we're extremely happy with the service they provide. Staff is recommending extending their contract, and actually we're recommending that's another 18 months, mainly to put them online with the budgeting process, and that's why it's kind of rather than 1 year or 2 years. The 18 months was selected. They're asking, where basically the agreement will allow that the same rates stay in effect, so they're not increasing their cost to us. They want to go with the same rates, and we agree with that. And we believe that those rates are still competitive, and we've done some independent searching to verify that. And with that, I recommend that you basically adopt the resolution approving the amendment to the agreement with Caption Colorado.
Great, thank you, Bob. We did do an RFP on this initially, though.
Absolutely.
Correct? Okay,
it
good.
Was one of the things we recognized Diane Graver earlier for. It was an extensive RFP effort. Yes. So yes, lots of time and energy went into selecting them, and it was a good process. And ultimately, we can repeat that process. You know, especially if it seems like maybe the rate is not competitive, but we believe that the rate is still competitive, and we're not too far off within 2 years of doing that RFP effort.
Right. Yeah, I just want to make that clear in that we did initially do that, so that it was a fair process in place, so that's good.
Absolutely.
Okay, there's been a motion, a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, great. Moving on to item number 6.
Item number 6 is Comcast Cable's franchise fees remittance audit.
Okay. You've received the results of an audit prepared by the county auditor for Comcast. Basically, the audit finds that they're properly reporting their gross revenues. That there were some differences noted on what they've remitted to the commission, but these were immaterial, so not significant differences. And they also have been charging the proper pass-through to their customers based on the complicated pass-through issue that Harriet just described. And with that, I recommend that you receive and file this audit information.
Okay, any questions? Okay, thank you, Bob. Item number 7.
Item number 7 is Comcast Cable's Affirmative Action EEO Summary.
Okay, and I apologize, some of the information on this was a little bit late in coming. We had it on the agenda, and then there was some last-minute discussions between Ken Fleming from the City of Sacramento. He's the Equal Employment Manager, and Comcast, but they worked out those differences, so we basically delivered to you today the report from Comcast and from Ken Fleming. Both Comcast and Ken Fleming are here today. If you have any questions on this, I'll just point out some highlights from the report. Basically, the report looks at the workforce, notes that the Comcast's workforce increased from 1,160, to 1,160, up from 1,116. This also includes an increase in female employees from 472 to 477. Is that right? A decrease, excuse me. And then an increase in minority employees from 581 to 646. Also noted that the actual hiring rates for female and minority employees has exceeded the application rate. So in other words, the amount of applications, the rate they're getting them in, the rate of minority and female candidates hired exceeds what they got in the pool. In 2007, they had goals to hire 10 female techs, and they basically did not succeed in that goal. Probably the main reason for that is that it's an area where females are underrepresented, and I believe there's issues in regards to whether there's female candidates within that pool or not. The results of the report recommend hiring options to consider when they can, hiring certainly candidates that are in areas that they're underrepresented, and also there was some discussion in the report about monitoring involuntary termination and exits, and I believe there was a higher rate of minorities involved in non-voluntary terminations. With that I believe is the main conclusions in the reports. Again, there's Comcast staff and city staff that are here that can answer any of your questions that you have.
Okay, great, thank you. Any questions, Commission?
Are there any training opportunities, especially for technicians, but sales as well, that could help in broadening the pool of available applicants, female applicants in those categories?
I believe Comcast will respond to that.
I mean, otherwise, this is likely just to stay the same. So
I'd like to introduce Vicki Franklin. She is our Director of HR for Sacramento. She's got those answers.
Good morning. Vicki Franklin, Human Resources Director. What we've done in the past, or we're starting to do right now, is we've built a relationship with American River Junior College that is currently, they have a technical program that we're working closely with, and we do have a focus of trying to get more females in place in our technician program. What they're doing is they're working with us to try and find out what are the specific needs as regards to skills so that they can train that in the classroom, and hopefully we'll be able to recruit from their classrooms. And we've also just entered an agreement, or we're entering an agreement with the Army PAYS program, and we're hopeful that that program too will get us some females in the areas of technicians.
what kind of history or track record, let's stick with technicians for a second, is there with, you said with American River? I mean, is this just something you're entering into now, or has it been in place?
Well, it's been in place for this year, but we did slow down our hiring process for this year. The first 6 months of the year we weren't hiring, so we've picked that back up, and we do know that females is an area that we need to focus on, specifically because of our industry being predominantly male.
Mm-hmm. So you are now hiring again, and you are affirmatively reaching out to particularly the female students in the technical training courses at ARC?
Right. We have a recruiter that goes out and occasionally will do job talks at that particular program. And we have, I think it's 7 female technicians, and normally when she goes out, she takes that technician with her.
Mm-hmm. And then what do you do if anything besides just have a job talk? Do you do something about contacting the students in particular and saying, gee, you are a person of real interest to us at Comcast. If you're going to pursue this career, we'd love to help bring you along or do something that would make you job ready for us. Is there something individualized or something beyond just a job talk?
No, we haven't gotten that far into it. That's not anything that we do currently.
Okay.
But could take that for consideration.
Well, I mean, it seems to me it might make some sense to do something like individualized recruiting if you really want to attract candidates of a certain type. Mm-hmm. And this case happens to be women. Mm-hmm. Something that lets them know that you're really interested in them. If they go through their training courses well and otherwise are good candidates, that you're going to be very interested in hiring them. I would think that would provide some motivation to them and would help you.
I think that's a great suggestion. We'll definitely take that back, Commissioner Dickinson. I believe right now we have about 70 positions open in the technical department. Is it about 70 or 40?
20.
Oh, 20, sorry.
20.
20. So, so if you all know women that are interested in that field, send them our way. But we'll definitely do that kind of outreach that you're talking about.
Okay. So out of that 20, you're trying to in effect net 4 more women than you have today. Mm-hmm. Hopefully you might even do better than that, but that's what your goal is to try to net 4 more women. Okay. And sales, women are great salespeople. So it's kind of odd to me that you wouldn't be able to find women for sales. What's the core of the difficulty there, as you see it?
Again, in our sales organization, although it's sales, it's still somewhat of a technician because they actually do the installations of the service themselves.
So these are field personnel?
Yes.
Okay.
So it's very similar to the technician role,
I
but it's
see.
more sales focused.
So are those sets of positions also incorporated into what American River is teaching, into their curriculum or their technical training?
No, we haven't been focused on the sales organization for that particular program. It's just more technicians.
And so then what are you doing, if anything, to try to identify women and prepare them to be able to work for you?
Again, we don't have a program that's established right now, but obviously there is a need for us to focus on that.
So if we come back a year from now, you'll come tell us we figured something out and we found how to connect with women who are interested in this field. And
I'd like to say I'd be able to report that progress is being made, and hopefully we have some better numbers to show it.
Okay. Well, look forward to that.
Okay.
Thank you.
I have a question on that. I'm on the Folsom Lake College Foundation board. I know some of the other community colleges would be interested in finding out where jobs are naturally. But I think if you had some sort of a connection with the colleges to let them know what you need as far as the courses they could take or something, rather than here's a college graduate, can you use them? I think so that would be beneficial to both you and to the students. So they would start taking some of the courses that would help them get a job with you, or get a job with the phone company, get a job with, the utilities usually have a pretty steady and very stable job if the people are looking for that. But as you said, you need to have certain technical expertise to be able to get hired. So some people don't know what they need. So if you could tell them what you need for your company, maybe that would be a benefit to everyone. So it's not just the American River College, but also the other community colleges and universities too, I guess. But right now we're looking at ways that people who are looking for jobs can get hired. And a lot of people are going to colleges. They're getting record numbers of students now in the colleges. And I think it would be beneficial to have some kind of a program to let them know in all the colleges what you need.
Thank you.
Any other further questions? Thank you. Item number 8.
Item number 8 are status reports from staff.
Okay. First of all, under 2008 and 2009 meeting schedules, I'm going to recommend that we cancel the November meeting. So, and there's a resolution basically canceling that.
Okay.
You can either take that now or at the end of the status.
I'll move cancellation.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, motion and second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
The next item under meeting schedule, basically we've included the 2009 meeting schedule. There's 10 meetings. I know we've had some issues in the past year. Sometimes budget hearings for the city and the county tend to bump us, and we did look at a little bit into whether there was a better time for a meeting, and really what we found is that there's not necessarily a better time for the meeting. I would expect that we may get bumped at a couple of these, and then we'll just have to go through the process to find an alternate time. And rather than trying to come up with something different, I would say stick with the time we have for now, and we'll continue to monitor that. One other thing I'd like to bring up is there's 10 meetings here. We're not going to have 10 meetings. I bet we're going to have between 4 and 6 based on our past experience. I would recommend that we keep the 10 meetings scheduled on everybody's calendars and then cancel them ongoing as we've been doing. However, if the commission did want to do something different, we could try to schedule less meetings and then try to add them on. The problem with that is that it's just sometimes it's really, really hard to find alternate times, and we've had a few issues with that.
I think it's worked real well the way we have it, so unless, okay.
I'll second.
Okay, we got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
Okay, and that's receive and file. Now, I was going to talk to you about the audit of the SMCTC, but the audit's not quite done. They're currently auditing the commission itself, and we expect to have that at the next commission meeting.
Right here.
It's not received.
On number 8, yeah, it was a motion.
It's a resolution.
No, there's 2 items. There's receive and file is the 2009 meeting schedule, and it was adopting the resolution canceling the November 6th meeting.
Okay.
So did I speak wrong?
You just said it was receive and file.
Well, yeah,
Okay, no.
I probably should have been more clear. We'd already taken the motion on the
It's
November
okay.
6th. So
The dates are fine.
okay. No, I appreciate the clarification. I certainly don't want to. So I meant the receive and file was related to the meeting schedule.
I think it was unanimous in receive and file.
We can come up with a resolution.
If I have a question, I can't find the schedule for the meetings in 2009.
Okay, under tab 8 in your binder, it should be the second page under tab 8, and if it's not there, we'll certainly get you another one.
Okay, thank you. It's been struck. Thank you.
Okay. And so, again, the SMCTC audit, I plan to say more now, but there's really not much to talk about. It's still ongoing. There's still some questions that are being sorted out. Nothing compelling, I don't believe, but we'll bring that back to the next meeting. And I did want to just make a few points on the digital conversion. I think, as you probably all know, February 17th, 2009 is where over-the-air broadcast stations such as ABC, CBS, NBC, Fox, PBS, et cetera, will be required to convert to a digital platform, and that does cause people some issues who have old TVs and, quite frankly, aren't on cable companies, because this is a non-issue for anybody that's a customer for any of the franchisees. So with that, however, our cable commission staff does get many phone calls on this issue, and we certainly refer them to the right sources. There's some websites, www.dtv.gov, that are very helpful in this conversion process. I contacted them to get coupons. They have coupons that for $40 for each TV that if you want to convert, and coupons can be found on their website. So mainly I just wanted to bring this up to remind your commission. I don't know if anybody else gets questions. If you do have constituents calling, you can still refer them to cable commission staff, and we'll help them out and get them to the right place. That's all I had under that item.
Great, thank you.
I have a question about the number of people. I know my father-in-law, for instance, does not have a computer doesn't plan on getting a computer. So, yeah, I think some information that would be on occasionally put in the paper, or maybe from the Cable Commission, for them, for the phone numbers they may call if they don't have this www access. So, you know, that would be helpful, I think, to some people who, not just this one gentleman, but some others also who do not have that. And a telephone number is what they depend on.
And that's a good point. I believe that information is readily available and out there, including the phone numbers. But we can take a look at that.
Okay, thank you.
And that's all I had under staff status.
Okay, item number 9 is franchisee licensee general status presentations, if any.
I didn't receive any for these 4.
Okay.
Okay.
Certainly already talked some, so that's fine.
And number 10.
Okay, moving on to item number 10, channel licensee grantee status presentations. Access Sacramento, please.
Good morning, everyone. Ron Cooper, Executive Director at Access Sacramento, and I want to be brief, but you're moving along so smoothly here. This is great. Before you, I think you have a pumpkin in the spirit of the season, update of our activities, and also a little postcard about our place called Sacramento Film Festival, which was very successful on October 5th. And those 9 films that were showcased to a full house at the Crest are on the back there. And you still have an opportunity to watch them online at accesssacramento.org. The update, I just want to touch on a couple of things because we have a couple of very special guests today as well that would like to speak to you briefly. We continue, per your suggestions over the years, to pursue ways of generating additional revenue, of providing our services and expertise in unique and special ways. The relationship that we've had that I've reported on in the past with Video Streaming Services Company, which is a private video streaming company that streams our channels and also pursues projects working not in the commercial field, but in the field of education and government. That continues to explore possibilities of working with state agencies. I wanted to bring to your attention on September 8, 9, and 10, we were able to work together and stream a 3-day climate conference for the State Department of Energy and also for the State Department of Education. We did an extraordinary project of videotaping 18 different modules about state education code updates, and then a 2-day, 8 hours each day live webcast from the State Department of Ed Board of Ed, incorporating those 18 video modules and then live feedback from teachers, principals, and superintendents around the state about how this can be, how they can implement those changes. And hearing everybody at the same time is very efficient, very effective use of technology. What's also critical, I think, is that the resources and the investment that you've made and the expertise and equipment that we've been able to make utilization for in our partnerships, relationships, you would think that the Department of Ed would be able to do this on their own, wouldn't you? It's very difficult within, as you all probably know, within the bureaucracies at the state level of the various agencies coming on board. You have firewalls of how you get out. You have firewalls at the departments of ed around the state. So it was a very challenging kind of environment that lent itself, and then you factor in cost effectiveness, that limited, how many options in order to do this. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention, that these resources really spiral outward, providing services that honestly there are no other ways of doing it. And we're able to explore those areas. So just a couple of other things. How are we doing in the way of recognition? We just won 2 national honors in the Hometown Awards. We had 6 finalists in the recent WAVE Awards, which were just awarded this past Friday, which brings me to our 2 special guests today. In the 6 finalists for the WAVE Awards, and we appreciate your opportunity today because these folks weren't able to attend the actual award ceremony in Denver. But in the area of programming for youth under 18, Isabella's Animal Show was in fact awarded a finalist award. That means one of the top 3 in the 6 western states, and also in the category of the Brian Wilson Mentorship Award, the one sole awardee this year was Mike Martin for his work with children in his show Kids Corporation. So we have those plaques and honors, and I'd like, with your indulgence, to invite Isabella and Mike to come up and make short statements, and we'll give them their honors. So first, Isabella.
All right.
Good deal.
We'll try out the podium here. How's that, Isabella? Is that good?
Yes.
All right.
Good morning. My name is Isabella Powers. I'm 10 years old. I'm in the 5th grade at St. Francis Elementary. Thank you for letting me speak about the importance of Access Sacramento. I have a show titled Isabella's Animal Show, which plays once a month on Access Sacramento. In order to have this show, I had to take classes at Access Sacramento about TV, developing ideas, writing scripts, and research. I had filmed a segment at the Sacramento Zoo, the Honolulu Zoo, interviewed a snake breeder in Elk Grove. Mr. Cooper informed me I'm the youngest kid to have a show. Also, Isabella's Animal Show has been nominated for a national TV award. I want to thank Access Sacramento for opening the doors of TV. Access Sacramento has another kids show titled Kids Corporation, which is shown every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. on Comcast 17. I'm a correspondent for this very cool show. I have interviewed several business owners, a goat farmer, a cheese producer in Utah, filmed at the Santa Cruz Boardwalk, and just interviewed Kevin Johnson, a mayoral candidate. My next goal is to interview Barack Obama.
All right.
The show also provides a service, as I just filmed a segment on kids safety at Arden Fair Mall with the director of security. This show has taught me how to pursue the story, speak to adults, and follow up in order to get the interview. It has instilled in me the tenacity of a reporter and the positive attitude needed for everyday life. I'm sure that show will soon go national. Access Sacramento has let me realize dreams and to shoot high. The skills learned at Access Sacramento will be with me for life. And I thank Mr. Cooper and the Cable Commission for this positive educational opportunity. I want to thank Access Sacramento and again the Cable Commission for this very unique program. Thank you again. I want you to realize I am the future. Thank you.
Great job. Wow.
You see your show's on at 10 o'clock in the morning on Saturday.
Good morning.
Okay, good.
Yes.
I'll pass that on. Thanks.
Great job.
Yeah, Isabella, I hope we don't get in her way.
I don't think you will.
That's not possible. And also here today, and we really appreciate taking the time out to come, Mike, as Isabella mentioned, Mike Martin is the producer, director, editor of Kids Corporation, but as he will so eloquently say, and I think he has a DVD to demonstrate, he's really, as a responsible adult, facilitating young people, and I mean 8, 9, 10, 11-year-olds, who are eager and energetic, but don't have these venues and oftentimes don't have adults in their lives that can say, yes, we want to hear from you. Let's coordinate that. So that's really why Mike received this very prestigious honor of the Wilson Mentorship Award for his efforts in this regard with Kids Corporation. Congratulations, Mike.
Oh, thank you.
What I just heard there, because Isabella is so a great speaker, and she's on my show, and I love to have her on the show because she's so cute, as you can tell. And I have a lot of kids, ages from like 5 to 16, who are on the show, and they're all reporters. They all do stories like behind the scenes with Walking with Dinosaurs. We're going to do Disney on Ice coming up on Thursday, and the kids do comedy skits, and we just have a lot of fun. And I just think that the kids really, of course, make the show really special, and I think it kind of empowers the kids, to be reporters and see themselves on TV, and they see themselves like reporters on Channel 3 and 13. So it's just a really great experience. It really makes me feel happy that I can get them on TV, and I just love doing the show, and I appreciate Access Sacramento giving me the chance to do the show.
Great stuff.
So that's it.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
Great job.
I'm not a good speaker, as you can tell, but
Yeah.
I had to speak.
And we have a DVD, I think. We have a DVD clip of just a couple of minutes, and I'd like to show it to you at this time. Thanks again.
So, what is the rooster's name?
And every car has at least one steering wheel because we all know how important it is to steer a car.
Great stuff.
That's cute.
I have a request. Ron, come back down for just a minute. Access Sacramento has been doing some really great things for Ranch Cordova. We had a wonderful coverage for our international festival in May. Access Sacramento had about 4 cameras going on at the same time all day long. It was one of the most well-done things I can think of. You did a great job on that. And it's something small, but very big for the people there at the Mather Community Campus. One of your cameras was there to cover the changing of a flag. I was able to provide them with a flag. The one they had was very tattered and torn, but we have some veterans there, former homeless people, who are there part of the transitional program right now at Mather Community Campus. And they were able to be part of the wonderful lowering the flag and raising the big flag. And there was about 40 or 50 people who were also part of the people there at Mather Community Campus, and they saw the ceremony. We had the VFW there, but like I said, I just want to say thank you for that, because it was, again, a small thing, but it was a big thing for them, and it means a lot. So I want to say thank you, and thank Access Sacramento. You do some good stuff.
That's great, and at the great opportunity, Commissioner McGarvey, because it shows the combination. The flag raising was actually a trained volunteer, not a staff person, who was there because he cared about it. The event at Rancho Cordova was a hometown TV event, which is the Hometown Projects, and we just finished a similar project, and it will be coming up soon for the Elk Grove Arts Festival. So it's a great opportunity to use the resources of the Commission to actually reach out to your cities and in the county to do major events that a volunteer just could not take on, just could not do that kind of. So it's a nice combination of the both, and we appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you, Ron. Next, I have Dr. Kelly Calhoun, SECC.
Good morning to the Commission and staff members this morning. I'm filling in for Liz Rose, Executive Director of SECC. My name is Dr. Kelly Calhoun. I am the chairperson of SECC this year and the Director of Educational Technology and Information Systems for the Folsom Cordova Unified School District. I wanted to give you some brief comments this morning on 3 items. BestNet, the educational channels, and our Student Educational Video Awards program. On BestNet, you know we have a 3-year rollout to that project to connect all of our middle schools and high schools throughout the county. And on the good news front, all year 1 schools, that's 32 schools to date, are completed and now operational. Construction has started on all of the year 2 sites, and completion of these sites is expected by January of 2009, so just a couple more months and we'll be done with phase 2. The 36 year 2 schools are spread out between the following districts: Sacramento City, San Juan Unified, the Sacramento County Office of Education, Galt Elementary, Folsom Cordova, and Elk Grove Unified. Funding for these sites has been approved by all participating districts and purchase orders have been submitted. It is planned that the year 3 sites, the final group of middle and high schools to be connected, will be completed by June of 2009, or by the end of this school year. SECC is pleased with the very cooperative spirit and efforts of Comcast in this area. We believe we have a good working relationship with them, and we're mutually resolving issues as they arise. And on a personal note, we've received help from Comcast on multiple fronts to help iron out issues, just little humps that needed to be gotten over to get some of our schools connected. On the educational channels front, SECC members have scheduled a record number of classes and telecourses on the educational channels. We're currently offering classes on all 4 channels. In addition to the courses offered on cable, SECC continues to bring a wealth of educational programs to the Sacramento community, including resources from NASA, electronic field trips, staff development programs, and our newest offerings from the Research Channel. You should, one moment please. Technical difficulties. You should all be receiving our electronic newsletter, and we encourage you to check out the new programs that are highlighted monthly in there. Finally, on the Sacramento Educational Video Awards program, the SEVAs, we're pleased to announce the continuation of our partnership with News 10 this year to increase the opportunities for student video production in our schools. We just trained over 100 teachers in a Saturday all-day training. The event occurred at Sacramento City Unified School District. We had a tremendous increase in student productions this last year, and this year the numbers continue to grow. I'd like to share a very short video with you with highlights from last year's Full House SEVA night at Folsom High School. We had more than 700 students there at the event, parents, teachers, and dignitaries. A couple of you were there, actually. We had standing room only for that event. Just a couple quick statistics before we show that. We had in this year's SEVA Awards, to give you an idea of the growth of this program over the last couple years, we had 1,226 students participate in producing video this year. I don't know if all of you have had a chance to go to the SEVA Awards event. A couple of you I know have been there before, but if you haven't been there, it is absolutely delightful, and you'll be astonished by the growth in this program over the last few years. Kids are pumped up and excited about getting opportunities to produce video, to see it being shared, and having an audience to be excited about their work. We had 244 entries this year and 50 schools participating in the awards event. And with your permission, if that's okay, I'd like to just show you a quick 2-minute clip of that event.
Sure, go ahead.
Thank you. Are we coming up? It's you.
What do you guys feel about education in videos? You think it's pretty important?
Yeah, because most kids watch videos a lot, and so if they're watching something that's worthwhile, not just cartoons, then it would really help.
You guys look pretty snappy. What are you wearing?
Just suits and ties.
This looks like a little bit of Gucci. I'm not sure. I'm not up on my fashion. Who's this made by?
I don't know.
Welcome everyone here to Folsom. I hope you're having a wonderful time. And who's got the best video out there?
Instructional How-To SIVA Award goes to
School News and Events is awarded to our Starfish, native.
I'd like to really thank SIVA for offering my first film award because I'm going to continue my efforts in film.
For everything they've done. So I just want to say thank you and how great is this day?
Attend if you get a chance to go. It's a delight. And with that, if there are any questions, are there any questions? If there aren't, I wanted to use this opportunity again to thank the Commission for your support, and thanks again for all of the benefits that we are reaping already from our BestNet project. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I'd just like to say I'm delighted to see that you and Mr. Morin made it to the SIVAs this year. Unfortunately, I've missed the last couple of years, but I've gone several years in the past, and it is just great fun, as I'm sure you would agree.
Very good time.
The young people are incredibly creative and innovative in the material that they produce. And it's a wonderful evening because everyone's just so pumped, so jazzed. I really encourage any of you who haven't attended one of these to do that, because it's you just walk out with a big smile on your face. There's no way you can't. And of course, SECC is more than happy to make you part of the program too. Yeah. So it's a chance to be in front of all those young people, lots of future voters. So
definitely a good
some
time.
current voters, I guess, probably in that group.
Okay, thank you. I don't have any other speakers on this item. So we'll move on to item number 11.
Item number 11 is receive public comments on matters not on this agenda but within Commission jurisdiction.
No sign-ups.
No speaker requests, so I think that move on. I'd like to adjourn this meeting in memory of Brenton Blyer, who was a past legal counsel for the Sacramento Metro Cable Commission. So I'd like to just take a moment of silence in his memory. Thank you. Meeting's adjourned.